Hi, I'm Jennifer Brower again, and I'm here with my reflection on Chapter 3. Well, to reflect on Chapter 3, it makes me think about my teacher, Mrs. Rice. She was my 7th grade teacher. She, she was, a trip. Okay, because when she first came, she was not married. She didn't have any children. And I think we were like the second class she's ever taught. But I didn't go to a middle school. I went to a school that was kindergarten through 8th grade in the same school. So it was like she just came to teach for this year for some reason. But anyway, so she was single and all this stuff. And she was really nice until a point, which I'll go into that. Alright, so she had us do this Three Stooges project one time. It was the Three Stooges alphabet. Well, everybody got a letter. I got Q. It was so hard because she would make everybody stand up in a class and do their part. So the Three Stooges alphabet, I had the Q, and so she, well, I'm trying to think. Okay, so whenever she was making us do it, beforehand, she was kind of telling us about herself. She was telling us that she liked Mark McGuire back in the day. That was because he had just started the Braves, and so she was like, she liked Mark McGuire, and she liked other little things and stuff before she gave us this project, right? And so she didn't mention that she didn't like red ink until after this. Of course, she said it made her eyes cross, but now you know the reason why after this story. Okay, so she made us all like do our part of the Three Stooges alphabet. If you don't know what that is you have to go. I'll use C. You go CAC, CASA, CISO, SICISISO, SU. And then, like, if somebody would mess up, she would, like, sit there and yell at them, which I didn't think that was very good. That's why mine was really hard because I had Q. I had QE, and it was very hard. And I felt like she gave me a hard time. So whenever we got done with the alphabet, I was crying. I was upset because I didn't understand why she was yelling at me, because I had never done anything like that before, and I just didn't understand why she was yelling at me. So she made me stay after school one day, and then she made me feel a little bit better. At first, she made me feel like, don't worry about it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like in 7th grade. I'm only 12 years old, and I'm really upset. I don't understand. And at first she was like, meh, 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 and then I was like, okay, whatever. So whenever I stayed after school, she took the time to explain why it was important for us to make sure to get it right, because it was a test that she was giving us for language arts. She taught language arts. I forgot to mention that. She taught language arts, and sorry about my chicken next door. She taught language arts, and I didn't know that she was trying to, like, it was almost like she was trying to do like a phonics review thing. I don't know why. It was just weird. But she sat down and explained why she did that. And then after she did that, she started to be really nice, and she would open up a little bit more each day. Like, I don't like red ink was one of the things. And so, of course, these boys, they wrote in red ink, and it made her eyes cross. But, opening up about, like she lived with her brother and all this other stuff during the year. So it made me, like, get to know her better, and then I started liking her better. So I think that that's why like a story like that is important, because it makes you think of, when you were younger, how teachers would act. But I mean, that's kind of like a wishy-washy one. Like, at first she was bad and then she became good. But my favorite teacher, he he was just good all the time. He was my teacher for 2 years, actually, because we didn't have a third grade teacher one year, and he taught second and third. But he was a really good guy. He was always positive. Um, he would always make each child feel important. And that's one thing Miss Rice didn't do. She didn't make every child feel important. She just like picked her favorites, kind of. And I don't like teachers like that. I don't like teachers that pick their favorites. I think everybody should kind of get the same feedback from the teacher, not just pick favorites. And like it explained in the chapter, you got to give positive feedback. You can't be negative. And I found like Miss Rice was way more negative than my second and third grade teacher, Mr. Lloyd. He was just positive all the time. He never got on to the children, hardly ever. Like, you'd have to do something really bad for him to be like, okay, let's go. He was just a really good teacher. And I think that he is a really good example of what I want to be when I become a teacher. I want to be more like him. I don't want to focus on the negative stuff. I want to be like really positive and helpful. And I want to like I don't want to say make a difference, because that's just so cliche. I want to be like able to make the child trust an adult with whatever they can feel like they need to tell them. I was talking to my daughter today, and we were talking about, like, if something ever happens to you, would you be able to tell your parent? And she said, yes, I'd be able to tell you, Mama, because I feel like I can tell you anything. And I just want that kind of relationship with the student, for me and the students to be that way. And so that's how I plan to teach. But there was a lot of good points in the chapter 3 about being positive and creating a good learning environment. And I also like the point where it said that you should go and play with them, play a game with them during their recess. It's okay to interrupt them and play with them, because they don't need to know that you're always, structured all the time. It's okay to break out from the schedule. And that's what I found to be very helpful from this chapter. And I hope you have a good Sunday.